Hey, good morning. I'm your friend Scotty Ray. Odie is already in as we prepare for a 7 o'clock show. We hope you'll be back. We're going to have all of the latest of local headlines. This morning, we'll get into what's going on locally. That's coming up after 7. We'll have here in a few moments, we've got weather lined up for you and headlines that are shaping America. What's going on out there around the world? We got all those details coming up very shortly from now. Dropped a few degrees in the last little bit. We're at 73 now. Now, later on tonight will be totally different. We'll get into the 60s for a low tonight. Don't want to spoil the forecast, but anytime there's that 60-degree mark, we like to talk about it. We'll be into the 60s tonight. We'll feel totally different when you wake up in the morning. Still had that hot feeling when I walked to work this morning. Wasn't great, I'll put it that way. But tomorrow should be a little bit different. Maybe that humidity will come down. We'll all be in a lot better place. Let's see here. As we begin today, we do hope you got a smile. And to change all that, we've got our good friends. They're coming all the way from Collinsville now. His name is Brother Ben. Let's let him take the floor down, give you a little inspiration for the day.
It's off to school we go. It's off to school we go. We'll take our lunch and ride the bus. It's off to school we go. Now, of course, elementary, middle school, high school, they've been in session for a couple weeks now. But this week, colleges get back into it, and students everywhere are getting their heads filled with knowledge. Now, our kids, they often wonder, why do people make such a fuss over school? Well, that's because we realize how valuable learning is. That's what today's word of wisdom helps us to see. Proverbs 6:16 says, how much better to get wisdom than gold? To get understanding is to be chosen rather than silver. Now, of course, wisdom and understanding are not exactly the same thing, but they're related, and both are more valuable than precious metal. Both are to be chosen over gold and silver. Not only does wisdom and education lead to financial gain, they're gains in themselves. Wise Ben Franklin once said, an investment in knowledge pays the best interest. And that's not just for young'uns among us, right? It goes for all of us. We should never stop learning. So go get yourself a treasure full of wisdom and instruction. Back to school, back to school. Gotta go prove that you're no fool. Change begins in you.
The Change Begins in You is brought to you in part by Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville, Patrick Allen Companies, Mitchell Tire and Wrecker in Collinsville, and Mowdy Cabinetry. And welcome back. I'm your friend Scotty. I hope you enjoyed that. Me and Odie did for sure. So many of you up and stirred. I see Miss Winnie is joining us there. Jeff Lewis is up. He's having to find a cup of coffee. Don't forget to wash it, Jeff. I've been there. I've learned that the night before is the best time to take care of your coffee station. It gets your day off to a bad start if you ain't got everything already lined up. That's the way I try to do it. Didn't say I was perfect. As we start looking around of headlines that are shaping America, who didn't like Indiana Jones? Loved it. But what would you be willing to pay for the hat that he wore? They call him, I think, a fedora. Is that correct? How you pronounce that word? Fedora hat? $630,000 is what it sold for at auction. I can't say I would pay that. I think it'd be kind of cool, but not quite that much. Congratulations, that $630,000. Wow. This gives you backup in humanity. This happened on two different occasions this weekend as we go to Michigan. 2 little girls were almost kidnapped as regular folks saw something suspicious going on and they jumped to the occasion and stopped it. They were not kidnapped, thankfully. That's good that things like that happen, that people still notice something that doesn't look right and stand up for what's right. We appreciate them for doing that. This has been a little over 50 years. We saw this a few weeks ago when a man from Mississippi was arrested. A truck driver was passing through, connected to a murder that happened over 50 years ago. We've got the same thing, an Idaho man. He's being arrested for a cold case file from 51 years ago that also happened in California. Something about that DNA that brings you right back to the scene of the crime. It never goes away. Hopefully, we've still got family members that will get some peace of mind of what actually went on with that. 51 years, that's a lot. Now, this could get serious as two things that people don't think a lot about is truck drivers and trains. Well, believe it or not, still behind the scenes, truck drivers and trains deliver goods all across the U.S. of A. We see that we've got a possible strike that's going to hit Canada. There's a lot of things that are brought back and forth from Canada on train there. It could disrupt the supply chain. We'll see what becomes of that. It's not official yet, but there's some mumbling that could happen this week. I'm not sure how much product we get out of Canada, but it can't be good either way, can it? I don't even know how things like this happen, and maybe there's a better explanation than what I know about it. You have surgery, you go into the hospital, and the doctors put you back together, especially when it's brain surgery, and we often know that. You'll have to have surgery to release pressure, whatever the case is, but they lost part of the skull while they were operating on the person. Now, last I checked, you just can't come up with one of those just quickly, can you? No. Bless their hearts. A lawsuit has spawned out of this. I don't know what the answer is, what you do to fix all that, but serious. And who would want to go back through the surgery to have something else put? Oh, boy. Any type of surgery is not fun. You hurt for weeks. You're sore. I don't know that I ever want to go through anything again. This is one of those things that I have not seen a whole lot about. I found out early this morning, somewhere around, I think it was 3:15 when I started going through things that were happening. Our hearts go to Georgia. And in almost every case, not every one, but pretty close, domestic disputes cause these problems. We have a Georgia deputy that was killed. He had no chance. This is where he pulls up to the house. The husband and wife are in a fight. As soon as his car door is cracked, a hail of bullets came out. As a matter of fact, as other deputies arrived on the scene, they attempted to go to him and could not. The man kept firing and firing. The woman was there, tried to escape and run to a car out of the house. She also was shot. She's been taken to a hospital in critical condition. The deputy died at the scene. We cannot, you just can't say enough about that. Major Ashley Henson passed away at the scene. A young fella. Happened Saturday night around 6:13 is when that happened. Breaks your heart for these things happen. So we think of Georgia today, as I'm sure that they'll fly flags at half-staff. We're no stranger to this. We know it happened a few weeks ago at a traffic stop in Mississippi. It's sad. That is the best I know how to say that. Keep that family in your prayers. We have two 13-year-olds in Florida that have been arrested. I guess they didn't want to go to school. They made a threat against the school. Both have been arrested. And we need to remind that. I know that each year, this has even happened here 2 to 3 times over the last 3-4 years, hasn't it, Odie, to where a threat's been called into a school and they go, oh, I was just funning. It was just a prank. Those days are gone. This is now punishable by law. You cannot do that. There's no prank calls. There's no anything that's put in line will be traced back to you. It may take a few hours to find you, but they will. The FBI gets involved in that. Teach your youngsters. They also probably at some point ought to have a class on this. They may already have a class set up to where they go over this with students of don't do it. It's just not smart. Wow. Michigan is where we go. It's been going on 3 years now. Back in 21, a wife come up missing. They've executed a search warrant and come up with a body. Sounds like someone's going to be going to jail. He was 56, and I think she was 51 is what the age was there. A little old to be doing things like that, is it not? I know that death can happen at any age, but boy. Teresa, I'm not sure I know what kind of cereal that is. Trump Crunch. That's a new cereal I hadn't heard of there. Boy, and as that is brought up, the name, every headline throughout America, as we've seen the last 8 years or so, boy, they're after that fella, aren't they? But the person who is in there, as prices have gone skyrocketing, is being praised as the greatest thing since sliced bread. Y'all notice that? I see it every day. Accountability. And that's the best I can tell you. Is Trump perfect? Absolutely not. None of us are. But boy, you would think she's Mother Teresa at this point if you were to look at the news. That's what I see. We'll be right back as we get into your forecast next. We got a lot of stories that we're going to share. I don't know if we can get it all in during the morning show of everything that's going on locally. It is a bunch. Let's see here. They had a shooting in Baltimore, Maryland last night. 7 injured, which means 7 people were shot and 1 died at the scene. They just can't seem to get along, can they? We'll be right back as we get further into this forecast. Let's put a smile on it. It's going to be all right.
CF Moto has arrived at Meridian Cycles. Come see us at 80 Highway 19 North or give us a call at 601-485-8700.
Hey, this is Greg, and everybody knows I love to eat good food. So when you're out and about, come on down to Long's Fish Camp. Been here for over 50 years serving some of the South's best fried fish, hush puppies, shrimp, and hey, don't forget the coleslaw. Probably the best anywhere in the world. Excellent food, excellent service. Drive on down to Enterprise, Mississippi, and enjoy your food from Long's. Remember, at Long's, everybody's family.
And welcome back. It's almost like they work for the city of Meridian, but whoever was on vacation at the National Weather Service finally came back. They put in the temperatures of each state, the record highs and record lows. They've been on golf for like 3 weeks is why I hadn't been doing it. We'll check that now.
Your forecast is brought to you by EMEPA, your Touchstone Energy Cooperative.
As we look at that, here we are. Back in 99, it was 104 on this date. As we look at my first grade year, it was 1976. Record low of 58 was set. That was the big one there. As we look at the forecast for today, not as hot today. 94 is what we're looking for on that thermometer. We'll see it even cooler at Columbus Air Force Base and Mississippi State. As we get to the Delta, about 93. More chances of rain over by the Delta and down through Natchez. Still at 91. As we go east into Bama, it looks to be about 92. We'll even see 90 at Birmingham. Not quite the 80s at Birmingham, but it's pretty close. Further you get closer to Tennessee, the temperature is probably a little bit cooler there. As we come across to see the next 6 to 10 days, well, I got ahead of myself there. Not as warm as we see this for the next few days. It'll be into Tennessee and northward above us. That's good news. Kentucky could see some hot weather as well. Now, here's our forecast for the next 7 days. 93 to 94 today, 0% chance of rain. We will start getting smidges of rain chances toward the weekend. But look at this, 91. Look at tonight's low at 67. Tuesday morning when you wake up, Wednesday, 64 is the low. And we'll see 60s every night this week. Almost makes you feel safe enough to crack your window to let some cool air in. I didn't say do that. I said it's a nice thought. We've got a high in the mid-90s. Low 90s is what we're looking at. 91, 92 for the most part during this week. As we go all the way till September the 2nd, we'll keep those mid-90s through the 26th, and then we start climbing around the 28th back to the upper 90s there. Fall, where are you? We need you bad. September is usually warm. I just want to remind everybody, I don't want to give false hope with September. It'll be some time before we start getting that cooler weather. If you're going fishing today, here's what it is. Your best major time is going to be this afternoon, right around 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock is what we'll call it. There's some minor times this afternoon at 8 o'clock, right at dark, and then this morning, some minor time as you're waking up. You can fish till about 7:30 there. Wind's going to be north wind 5 to 10 is what we're looking at when it comes to your fishing forecast for today. Now, let's go here. It's not a lot going on with this, but it's still worth mentioning as we look at radar. Let's go out here and see what Ernesto is doing. Ernesto is back to a Category 1 as we pull up Honda Meridian radar. Right here this morning, we'll see this. It's going to stay in the ocean, but moving along at 86 miles an hour. Gust of 104, millibars sitting at 972 moving along at north-northeast at 21 miles an hour as it stays away from land. That is good. As we go to radar this morning, we'll show that we got showers in Little Rock, a little bit around Shreveport, Louisiana as well. If you're going to be in Tennessee, Chattanooga, up through Knoxville, we've got a lot of fog there this morning. Now, here off of the coast of Florida, we got some showers at Apalachicola, showers there, and just due south of Destin, a lot of storms. And if you'll look here, we got some sheer winds out in the ocean there. Ooh, boy, y'all be careful if you're going to be in those areas there as we look at this forecast into that. Special marine warning there at Santa Rosa Beach, all through there. Nothing major, but it's not coming in. Off the coast of Biloxi, way down there off the coast of Louisiana, some showers, but it looks like the Mississippi Gulf Coast will be fine. Still, we've got heat advisories back in Lufkin, Texas, Abilene, those areas, Oklahoma City, even down through Alexandria and Lafayette, Louisiana, has heat advisories for today. Right today, as you'll see here, it looks good for Mississippi. We don't have any of that. We hope it stays far, far away, don't you? I do. Keep away from us there. Let's see here. Gene, good morning there. Good to see you up and at 'em. Lauderdale, Dollar General checking in. Katina, good morning to see you. And you're right, 67 does sound so good at night. Makes me feel good. Get a quilt and lay back, cool. Boy, it's nice. We've got your local headlines coming up at the top of the hour. Hope you'll join us. We're getting prepared for all that. We're going to make another pot of coffee and get ready for this. It gets underway right at the top of the hour, 7 o'clock. We'll be back in 10 minutes. We'll go live in less than 10 as you'll join us. Won't you? Can't do it without you. We'll see you then at the Scotty Ray Report.